I'm Romaine Bostic, and welcome to Bloomberg TripleTake, where we take one key topic and we're going to split it up into three unique angles. Today, we're focused on social media. We're going to take a look at the future of social media and whether there's a kinder, more gentler version of social media out there. Dominic O'Mara, founder and CEO of Supernova, joining us next. This is Bloomberg. This is Triple Take on Bloomberg. Snap earnings came out a little earlier, and that's an excuse for us to focus in on social media. So far today, we've discussed Snap's results as the shifts in the way people use platforms by age group. And now we're going to move on to our third take, which is how new social media companies are looking to do things maybe a little bit differently, Taylor, and maybe a little bit, I guess, more kindly.
Yeah, and I think in order to set up that conversation, Romaine, we have to look at the backdrop from which we're coming, which was huge gains in social media, staring at our phones and scrolling the whole time. Of course, we did that in 2020 because we were all trapped at home and not allowed to travel. So time spent on social media jumped 16% in 2020. That actually stayed on in 21. We were still sort of in the middle of lockdowns, at least if you're on the Northeast here, and that continued to rise to about 97 minutes a day. Now, maybe the good news, if we're all going back out, I think at heart, maybe we're social creatures, Romaine, then some of that will expected to drop off in 23, maybe dropping down to just 94 minutes a day on social media.
Yeah, social media isn't going away, but of course, there are a lot of complaints here about, I guess, some of the negative effects of it. Of course, some of the commentary, whether it's sexist commentary, racist commentary, or maybe some of the body shaming issues. There are companies out there, new social media companies, that are looking to kind of blunt the impact of some of the negative aspects of social media and just kind of highlight the positive aspects of it, provide a safe place for us to all enjoy. Dominic O'Mara is joining us right now. He's the founder and CEO of a company called Supernova, which calls itself an ethical alternative to the big names like Instagram and Facebook. And Dominic, I applaud you, but you're fighting human nature here. And I think all these social media companies at one point or another said they want to do things a little bit more ethically. They want to make it a little safer for everyone. And at the end of the day, human nature sort of dominates, and well, we end up where we are today.
Well, hello, America, and thank you very much for having me on the show. It's good to be here. And as you say, I think there are companies like ours looking to do things a little differently. Certainly, we perceive there to be a need. I think the world sees that there is a need for an ethical alternative social network. I mean, there are 4.6 billion of us is the figure I saw today that are on social media around the world, and collectively we'll spend 4 trillion hours using social media in this coming year. And Supernova is here to help make as many of those as possible and make sure that they are time well spent, because there's as you were alluding to just a moment ago, there are a lot of things that we can see as social media has grown in popularity over its, maybe 15-year course now, mistakes that have been made along the way. And as we come as a new era of social media, bringing this new ethical approach to things, we're standing on the shoulders of giants, really. I mean, we're able to get a vantage point because of the experiences they've had, and if you like, some of the mistakes that they've made along the way. And as you see on your board here, some of our key strategies are that we're donating a large amount of the advertising income that we get to charities in line with our users, our community's choices, and we're giving human moderation to ensure a kinder and more inclusive experience.
Dominic, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about that journey that you've been on, and how are you attracting new users? How many users do you have today? How many do you project to have over the next few years? And how is the journey in fighting the good fight in terms of attracting those users?
Well, it's, people who get to hear about this, somehow you got to hear about this. So word of mouth is helping us to get our first bedrock level of new users and of users onto the platform. And I think that the key thing that we're looking to address is protecting the mental health, of a generation. And it's that generation that have grown up with social media that I think are most susceptible to some of the damages that are happening to them. And at this stage, it's very early stage for our company. We're really getting our first level of traction. This is our debut appearance on TV there in the United States. So thank you very much for having us on board. And I hope that some of your viewers, will go and seek out Supernova Social Network.
Well, they will
their,
now,
app
perhaps,
stores.
maybe, since you're on the show, just to cut you off, just because we're short of time. I think the
Okay.
problem is as you grow, you come into the issue of content moderation, right? And inherently keeping it
Yes.
safe. How do you think about moderation, getting ahead of it before you grow?
Well, the thing is, I think that there's a good question. And, we view human moderation and the provision of human moderation as an essential and differentiating ingredient in the mix that we have. We have trained human moderators, but I don't think it's about having armies of human moderators to weed out nasty content. I think it's about conditioning, encouraging, and motivating people not to want to put up nasty content in the first place. And we have adequate numbers of 24/7 human moderators there to ensure toxicity doesn't get onto our channel. But if you look at our channel, we don't have toxicity on it because people don't want to put up unpleasant content. That is what they are. They have other channels to do that on. And the company is called Supernova because we're lighting up the way to a new era of kindness in social media. And one of the key differentiators we have is the Supernova button. And that is a way of showing that you really love a post as opposed to just simply like it. And it's worth 10 times a normal like. A like is like on our system, it's a vote actually for the cause that you've chosen. So if you see a post like this one here, here's one that I like, and it's the word love. Somebody put that. It's very
We can all get behind that.
I get behind
We can all get behind that, right?
Yeah.
We give that a supernova.
You can't have enough love. Let's
Well
give
done.
it a supernova.
Yeah.
And that is the effect that you see when you give it the supernova.
There you go.
It's a very, very lovely animation.
Wonderful.
And now I gave the supernova.
Yeah.
We're short on-
I get the benefit of it.
We're short on time. Unfortunately, we're coming up against a hard commercial break. Really appreciate you. We
Well, we
wish
gotta
you
have
the
the
best of
ads.
luck there, of course. Dominic O'Meara, founder and
Thank
CEO
you.
of, you just saw it, Supernova. We'll be back with
you
our
on
final
there.
take next. This is Bloomberg.
Here's Triple Take and our final take on Triple Take, a focus on social media, the big social media companies next week. We got Snap today, though, Taylor, and I guess so far it did okay.
The market's liking it, at least if you look at the after hours, but the big ones like Meta, Gina, those are certainly going to be up next
And
week.
remember, Meta last quarter was
Yes.
pretty devastating. So I think there's a lot of nerves ahead of that release.
Yeah. Remember, Taylor, though, it's all about love.
All about love. And the Supernova. See, we learned a new app. Romain and I are going to be on the Supernova.
Ethical social media.
That does it for Triple Take. Bloomberg Technology up next here in the U.S. Have a great evening. This is Bloomberg.